from Sky Sports, please.
Hi Scott, how's the injury news looking? Is it still just Harrison Reed, Mario Lemina and Kenny Tete?
Sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear you. Broke up on one of the names there.
Sorry, I've got Lemina, Tete and Reed as your three injuries. Is that still the case?
No, it's not the case. We've had some pretty bad news with Anderson. Obviously, just coming to the football club. He's damaged an ankle injury in training over the last couple of days. So he'll be out for the foreseeable future, really. Tete as well. Tete's still struggling, and hopefully he'll be out for a few weeks. Lemina's back. He's been training now for the last 10 days. And Harrison Reed's getting where to get to. Maybe the weekend becomes a bit too early.
So how bad is Anderson's injury? How long will you be without him?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't want to put an actual time scale on him. It's going to be some weeks, to be honest with you. So disappointing, of course, because we had him for 2 days. We see his quality, but obviously we're going to be without him now for a little time, and we hopefully will get him right, get him rehabbed, and get him back and get him part of the team.
It's ligament damage, is it?
Ligament damage, yeah, ankle ligament damage.
I suppose that kind of answers the next question, but I'm just wondering if the international break has been a help or a hindrance for you, generally speaking.
But no, look, it's been a time for the players what have been here to work with them players and obviously get some good work in, some hard work as well, because obviously the pre-season this year has been pretty short. So to get some real good quality work in, both on the training pitch in terms of the real technical detail and the actual physical work in terms of keeping players or getting players up to the necessary speeds. On the same time, of course, you have players away from the football club. They've just come back today. Majority of them Friday, obviously two days before you play. So there's that element which obviously is not the most helpful. But I think overall, it's been a very useful time for us. It's been very useful for me and the team. So yeah, I think overall it's been a success in that sense.
And where do you sit on international football continuing during this pandemic?
I think like everything else, I think I can see and understand why international football still needs to continue. I get that maybe people will say it's not ideal, but I mean, we don't live in an ideal world at this present moment in time. And there's obviously a lot of things to take into consideration in terms of international football. And from a selfish point of view, of course, myself, I easily say, no, let's not do it. But I also understand that there's a big tournament coming in 10 months' time, whatever that is, and them managers and them countries need to prepare the best they can. So I understand that things ain't stopping. And so, we have to make the best out of sometimes, which is a bad situation.
How's RubenLoftusCheek settled in, and how likely is he to feature against Sheffield United?
Settled in really well. He's coming to the club, obviously, from around the corner, really. So in terms of them dynamics, it's been an easy and straightforward transition for him. He can still live in his same house and stuff like that, so that's been pretty good. And then obviously, as a player and as a boy, has been first class, and we've now had a good 10 days with him. He's worked hard, and we brought him here because we feel that he can help us, help the team, and I'm sure he'll have a big season with us this year.
Because he's a player with huge potential, obviously, not yet been realised. But do you see this as a big opportunity for him personally as well?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right in saying he's got huge potential. He now needs to be consistent with that and really take that step. I feel that here we can offer him something here. We can try and develop him along the way as well, and give him a platform, of course, in terms of if he does the right thing and shows his quality, he can give him Premier League football. And I also feel like we can nurture him and help him and push him where he needs to get to, really.
And the last couple from me, just on domestic deadline day matters. Terence Kongolo, is that deal looking like it's going to happen? I'm hearing he's having a medical.
As always, really, I wouldn't want to comment. Obviously the window is still open, and while the window's open, there's possibility that there may be some activity both in and out. But as of the specific individual, he's not someone I want to go into. We'll see come the end of it, like last time, 5 o'clock today, or 6, whenever it is, it shuts. We'll see what business is there to be done.
Are you able to shed any light on Anthony Knockaert going out to Forest?
The same, really. Look, we've got a very, very big squad at this present moment in time. Probably too many players in that sense, and players what are not going to play a lot of football or need some game time this year. There will be an option for them players to leave the club to obviously do and get that. So again, individually, names no, but in terms of them players or certain players leaving the club, yes, definitely that will be an option because they need to obviously play football.
And finally, just how big is this game? I know it's early in the season, but Sheffield United and yourselves at bottom of the table. How important is it you get something and get some momentum going?
Yeah, big game for us. Just exactly the same as Sheffield United. Big game for both teams. But what game isn't? Every game's going to be big for us this year. And of course, maybe an extra bit on it, the fact that both teams have not got any points on the board as of yet. So yeah, of course, I understand that. But every game's going to be big for us this year, and the one come the weekend is going to be no different to that. As always, we'll prepare and go into that game to try and win it, really. So a tough game ahead, yes, for sure, but one which we're looking forward to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. So we'll stay with broadcast. Anita PLP, would you have any questions to add?
Yeah, afternoon, Scott.
Yeah.
I know you touched on Anderson's injury being a blow, but how much of a boost did his signing, along with Loftus-Cheek and Adarabioyo, give to the squad, and what's the atmosphere been like there?
Yeah, of course, it gives a boost. You bring players into the team constantly. That's I've been saying. The team what needs to evolve. You need to bring players in to improve, and then players coming in along with the other players what came in. There's a real good atmosphere around this place at this present moment in time, and for a team that obviously we've not got the points or the results that we all desperately want. There's been elements to our performances which have been really pleased with, and the fine margin sometimes in footballs is that you don't quite get the right end of that. But in terms of the general vibe around this place, very good. And I think like I constantly say, I think we know where we are, and of course we're all desperate and we're all working tirelessly, players, staff, everyone at the football club to try and get the results. But as long as there's movement in the right way, and we understand where we are, then we'll be fine.
You mentioned that Ruben Loftus-Cheek has settled in really well. Could he or Adarabioyo be ready to start on Sunday at Bramall Lane?
Yeah, there's options there. For sure, they've been in now they've trained with the team for 10 days. So of course they've put themselves in a position to be selectable, really. So that'll be my decision come the weekend, whether I feel that they're the best or part of the best players to field a team which can try and get a result against Sheffield. So, but in terms of where they are and how impressive they've been, then yeah, they're right in frame.
And what have you been working on during the international break? What's been the focus on the training plan?
Well, a bit of both, really. Like I alluded to in the first bit, I think physically we've been able to get some good work into the players and the team. Reason being, obviously, very short pre-season. Certainly for us, we went late on to last year, so the pre-season was 2.5 weeks before we was playing our first game against Arsenal. So in terms of getting some good physical work into the players and getting them where we need to get to, we've managed to do that. And then obviously tactically and working with the team and what we need to do this year and where we need to improve and keep drilling that. And has been some good time for us to be able to do that. So yeah, that's been the main focus, really. There's probably been 2 parts, really, and both have come a good time.
Have you been surprised by Sheffield United's slow start to their second season in the top flight?
No, look, I think like anything, when you're in the Premier League and you're against the teams and you're in the sort of quality of teams we're up against, I think it's, teams like Sheffield United, along with a bunch of other 10, 12 teams in this division, you can lose football matches. And the fine margins of this league, sometimes could be on the end of a bad result. I think what Chris has done at Sheffield has been nothing short of an incredible job, really. A team and a side which have done remarkably well last year, and no doubt we'll go and pick up some results and do well again this year. In my view, they have an unbelievable work ethic, a real understanding of how they play in terms of their structure. So, yeah. That's what happens when you're in the Premier League. You can lose matches sometimes.
Thank you. Good luck at the weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anita. We'll stay with broadcast. Can we go to radio? Emma Jones, BBC London, please. Emma, you're on mute. If you don't have a question, we can go to James Savundra, TalkSport.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, James.
Scott, do you feel like you've done enough now in the transfer window to feel really confident that Fulham now can compete this season in the Premier League?
Yeah, look, in terms of the players we brought into the club, I think will improve us and will make us stronger. Of course, you always have the uncertainty on how certain players will adapt to that. Of course you do. But yeah, overall pleased with how it went. From my position, of course, you always want to try and get them in early and try and work with the players and try and work with the team. But I think overall we've done some very good business. The club have done very well in that sense. We now obviously need to pick up some results along the way now, and obviously get this team firing and obviously get the players gelled as much as we can, and move on from there.
And you said the atmosphere has actually been really good around the training ground in the last couple of weeks. Do you think you can prey on any lack of confidence that Sheffield United may be suffering at the moment?
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure Chris will say the same about his guys. I think probably Chris has been here a lot longer than me in terms of the manager, but both have been around football and understand that you can lose football matches and 4 games in. It is still early days, so I'm sure there's a levelness about Sheffield which understand that. But of course, they've not won a game this year as well, and they're eager to get onto that like we are. We want to go there. We want to show our quality, like I feel we have done this year. In the majority of games, I feel like we've put a stamp on the way we play, and I thought we've had a real way about us, which I really like. And of course, there's the fine margins, and there is also improvements what we need to make, and that's why we've not been on the end of a win, because there has been mistakes that have let us down along the way, and we need to improve on that. But there has been big elements where I think we've gone to a lot of games and we've really put our stamp on it. We need to do the same.
That defensive display you put on against Wolves, is that what you're talking about in terms of positives, in terms of a framework and foundation on which you want to try and replicate this weekend and moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, there was positives from Wolves in terms of as a team defensively, very, very solid, held on to something. There was them elements in the first game as well, in the first lot of games as well, to be fair. It's, like I say, it's the fine margin sometimes. One goal goes in after 6 minutes, you're chasing the game a little bit, you get opened up again. So, yeah, like I often say, we need to improve in certain areas, and I think we know that, and we all realise that, not just me, who's sitting there going, oh, this ain't good enough, we need to improve. The players understand that as well. Players understand where we are and where we need to improve, and we're working tirelessly to do that, really. So hopefully we can keep building, we can keep improving and keep moving forward as a team and as a squad, and keep getting better, and we'll see the the improvements over hopefully the coming weeks and go from there.
And just finally from me, Scott, we know this match is going to be televised, but unfortunately fans are going to have to spend £14.95 if they are to watch the game on Sunday. It's a very difficult time for a lot of fans at the moment. Do you think that's a fair price to watch that match?
Yeah, look, I suppose I understand the predicament what everyone's in at this present moment in time, and certainly fans are included. I speak at the forefront of that because I understand that. And football is a way to obviously ease that probably a little bit. In terms of the financial costing, that look, it'd be really unfair for me to comment. Really, I probably don't sit in a position. I think everyone's in a position now which is pretty unfair, and everyone's struggling along the way now, whether that's the fan or whether that's football clubs or whatever that may be. So I think ultimately, the quicker we can get fans back in the stadium, the better for everyone, and better for us as teams, and obviously for the fans as well to support us. Really, so yeah.